अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। करुणा धन मनमोहन प्रीतम प्रभु कमल नयना सुनो प्रार्थना में हर तुम्हारा। दामन छोटे ना हो, दामन छोटे ना। बिनती करूं कर जोड़े में हर नेह बने रहना। जन्म मरण के फेरे जब तक दामन छूटे ना हो, दामन छूटे ना। सहस्त्र मुख के अहंकार से दूर मुझे रखना। मान बढ़ाई मोह में फंस कर दामन छूटे ना हो, दामन छूटे ना। मैं निर्बल बलवान तुम ही हो, मुझे संभल लेना। तुमने बाहा थामी तो फिर दामन छूटे ना हो, दामन छूटे ना। दृढ़ विश्वास डिगे नहीं मेरा, हृदय बसे रहना। तुम जो हृदय में हर दम में हर दामन छूटे ना हो, दामन छूटे ना। त्याग प्रेम सेवा अपनाऊं, यही वर देना। स्वार्थ द्वेष की लपट में आकर दामन छूटे ना हो, दामन छूटे ना। दुनिया रूठे तुम ना रूठो, मेरे बने रहना। जो भी स्थिति हो भय से तेरा, दामन छूटे ना हो, दामन छूटे ना। जन्म जन्म गुण गाओ, सुर का दान मुझे देना, मधुसूदन के हाथों कब हो, दामन छूटे ना हो, दामन छूटे ना। मंदिर मस्जिद दीन धर्म के झगड़े मैं न जानूं, यमे मेरे प्रकटो में हर, जो तुमको पहचानूं, दे दो कृपा का दान बाबा, दे दो कृपा का दान बाबा, दे दो कृपा का दान। दिन दिन पल पल तुमको ध्याऊं, दिन दिन पल पल तुमको ध्याऊं, तेरो करूं गुणगान, दे दो कृपा का दान बाबा, दे दो कृपा का दान। चारों ओर है भ्रम का घेरा, चारों ओर है भ्रम का घेरा, कोई न जाने सतपथ तेरा, कोई न जाने सतपथ तेरा, मोह भरे इस तेरे जग में, मोह भरे इस तेरे जग में, घुटते हैं मेरे प्राण, दे दो कृपा का दान बाबा, दे दो कृपा का दान। मैं अपने बल कैसे आऊं, मैं अपने बल कैसे आऊं, पकड़ो बाहा तो चल पाऊं, पकड़ो बाहा तो चल पाऊं, बांधो धीरज डिग ना जाऊं, बांधो धीरज डिग ना जाऊं, मैं निर्बल अनजान, दे दो कृपा का दान बाबा, दे दो कृपा का दान। तुम बिन नाही संकट हारा, तुम
बिन नाही संकट हारा,
तुम ही दे दो मुझको सहारा
तुम ही दे दो मुझको सहारा।
मधुसूदन मेहर गुण गाऊं,
मधुसूदन मेहर गुण गाऊं।
दूजा नहीं कोई ना, दे दो कृपा का दान बाबा, दे दो कृपा का दान। दिन दिन पल पल तुमको ध्याऊं, दिन दिन पल पल तुमको ध्याऊं, तेरो करूं गुणगान, दे दो कृपा का दान बाबा, दे दो कृपा का दान।
जय बाबा। अरे पीले 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 मेहर नाम का प्याला। अरे पीले 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 मेहर नाम का प्याला। इसको पी कर और पिला कर, इसको पी कर और पिला कर, बन जा तू मतवाला मतवाला मतवाला। मेहर नाम का प्याला। अरे पीले 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 मेहर नाम का प्याला। ये प्याला जग से न्यारा, ये प्याला जग से न्यारा, इसकी रंगत न्यारी। मीठी मीठी सौंधी सौंधी खुशबू प्यारी प्यारी। इसकी बूंद बूंद में बिजली, इसकी बूंद बूंद में बिजली, सुख का अमृत डाला हो डाला। बन जा तू मतवाला मतवाला मतवाला। मेहर नाम का प्याला। अरे पीले 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 मेहर नाम का प्याला। कोई इसको सुख से पी कर दुख को दूर भगाए, कोई इसको दूर दूर कर दुख का जहर बढ़ाए। बिना पिए कोई क्या समझेगा, बिना पिए कोई क्या समझेगा। इसका रंग निराला निराला। बन जा तू मतवाला मतवाला मतवाला। मेहर नाम का प्याला। अरे पीले 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 मेहर नाम का प्याला। मेहर नाम का प्याला। जय बाबा।
जय बाबा। When there's no place to go, you think no one knows what you're going through. When you've done all you can, you're exhausted, my friend, and there's nothing else left you can do. When life overwhelms you or someone betrays you, you feel like nobody cares. There's still one place I know when there's no place to go. I go to the Master in prayer. I go to the Master. He always listens. He welcomes my pleas because he cares about me. He won't overlook my petition. He's standing above and is watching in love. He's waiting my burdens to bear. He's got time for you and a place for me too. I go to the Master in prayer. When the world turns on me, I'm so blind I can't see. Doubts are everywhere. When my friends turn me down and my spirit is bound, I can't rise above all my fears. When pain won't release me, there's no place within me. I'm feeling like life isn't fair. When my night sleep is lost and I've turned and I've tossed, I go to the Master in prayer. I go to the Master. He always listens. He welcomes my pleas because he cares about me. He won't overlook my petition. He's standing above and is watching in love. He's waiting my burdens to bear. He's got time for you and a place for me too. I go to the Master in prayer. Yes, I go to the Master. He always listens. He welcomes my pleas because he cares about me. He won't overlook my petition. He's standing above and is watching in love. He's waiting my burdens to bear. He's got time for you and a place for me too. I go to the Master in prayer. If your life's a dead end, I can still recommend you can go to the Master in prayer. Jai Baba.
Menos, menos. Hanya busy ni go. Chance hanya busy. Ha. जय मेहर बाबा तूच करता आणि करविता शरण तुला मेहर बाबा मी शरण तुला मेहर बाबा तुझी आश्वासे पान हलते स्पर्शे तुझिया फूल फुलते तुझी आश्वासे
पान हलते स्पर्शे तुझिया फूल फुलते तेज घड्याचा गगनही झुलते रविचंद्राचा तू निर्माता शरण तुला मेहर बाबा मी शरण तुला मेहर बाबा सुख दुःखाची फूल पाहुनी तुझीच जाणीव वेळोवेळी सुख दुःखाची फूल पाहुनी तुझीच जाणीव वेळोवेळी तुझ्या कृपेच्या पंखाखाली जीवदान दे मजला शरण तुला मेहर बाबा मी शरण तुला मेहर बाबा तूच आरती तूच भक्ती देऊळ तुची तूच मूर्ती तूच आरती पूजा भक्ती तूच असता माझी स्फूर्ती मांगायाचे काय अनंता शरण तुला मेहर बाबा मी शरण तुला मेहर बाबा तूच करता आणि करविता शरण तुला मेहर बाबा मी शरण तुला मेहर बाबा जय मेहर माय बाबा
जय बाबा इष्टिया के शौक जब हद से सिवा हो जाएगा इष्टिया के शौक जब हद से सिवा हो जाएगा सामने आँखों के वो जल वानुमा हो जाएगा सामने आँखों के वो जल वानुमा हो जाएगा क्या कहूँ ऐ दिल खुद ही खो कर तू क्या हो जाएगा क्या कहूँ ऐ दिल खुद ही खो कर तू क्या हो जाएगा वासिले हक होगा बंदे से खुदा हो जाएगा वासिले हक होगा बंदे से खुदा हो जाएगा इष्टिया के शौक जब हद से सिवा हो जाएगा सामने आँखों के वो जल वानुमा हो जाएगा कानों में आकर कि वो कह गए मुझे पर्दे की बात कानों में आकर कि वो कह गए मुझे पर्दे की बात मैं तेरा हो जाऊंगा जब तू मेरा हो जाएगा। मैं तेरा हो जाऊंगा जब तू मेरा हो जाएगा। इश्तिया के शौक जब हद से सिवा हो जाएगा। सामने आँखों के वो जल वानुमा हो जाएगा। इश्तिया के शौक जब हद से सिवा हो जाएगा। तार मेहर बाबा की जय।
सेंटर में अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। आज बाबा की फिल्म देखेंगे न्यू लाइफ के ऊपर। ये फिल्म बाल नाटू से जुड़ी हुई है। बाल नाटू अवतार मेहर बाबा की मंडली के पुराने सदस्य है और उनका बाबा के साथ संबंध बहुत लंबा था। न्यू लाइफ में बाबा के साथ जो मेल और फीमेल कंपेनियंस जो गए थे, उसमें उनको सिलेक्ट करने का जो बाबा ने क्राइटेरिया रखा था, उसमें पुरुषों की एक मीटिंग बुलाई गई थी 1949 में, जहां पर कई सारे लोगों को आमंत्रित किया था और उनको ऑप्शन दिया गया था कि आप यस और नो एक पेपर के ऊपर लिखिए। और बाबा ने तमाम कंडीशन न्यू लाइफ की उसके अंदर डिटेल में करी थी। तो बाल नाटू को भी उसमें इनवाइट किया गया था। और इंटरेस्टिंग बात यह है कि बाबा ने बाल नाटू को इनवाइट किया था आने के लिए न्यू लाइफ में, मगर बाबा ने ही बाद में उन्हें नई जिंदगी से बाहर कर दिया था, जैसे डॉक्टर दौलत सिंह को बाहर किया था। और ये बाल नाटू अपनी ही जुबान में बोल रहे हैं इसको। पूरा 1 घंटे की ये फिल्म है। उसका मैं ज़्यादा डिटेल में इसमें नहीं जाऊंगा फिल्म में, मगर उसका सार जो निकल के आता है यही है कि वो हालांकि बालाजी बाबा के साथ गए नहीं नई जिंदगी में, मगर बाबा के जो बाबा ने उनको आदेश दिए थे, जो ऑर्डर दिए थे, उसका पालन करते उन्होंने जीवन भर, जिंदगी भर नई जिंदगी को जिया। और यही उसका सार निकल के आ रहा है। तो ये फिल्म इट इज कॉल्ड द ओल्ड लाइफ एंड द न्यू लाइफ। ये हम देखेंगे। एक दो अनाउंसमेंट उसके पहले। एक तो कि हमारा क्विज का प्रोग्राम 16 नवंबर को रहेगा। उसकी पीडीएफ 100 years ऑफ मेहराबाद वो सबको भेजी गई है। अगर किसी को मिली नहीं है तो प्लीज आइदर लेट मी और फरा नो, वी विल अरेंज टू सेंड यू द पीडीएफ वर्जन। उसी में से हम लोग क्विज करेंगे। ये 16 नवंबर को रहेगी। और अवतार मेहर बाबा की अमर तिथि जो 31 जनवरी को आ रही है, उसकी सर्कुलर निकल गया है। अगर किसी को मिला नहीं हो तो कृपा करके मुझे बताइए। सर्कुलर में जो वहाँ पे रहने का इंतज़ाम है, जो पूरा कार्यक्रम है, उसका प्योरा ब्यौरा रहेगा। ये फिल्म काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग है। बाल नाटू अपनी ज़ुबान में, मेरे एक ही इच्छा रहेगी कि अपने मोबाइल फ़ोन वगैरह को आराम देकर इसके ऊपर ध्यान करके इस फिल्म को देखिएगा। क्योंकि बाबा की नई जिंदगी क्या है, उसका अर्थ क्या है, ये इसमें से बाल नाटू अपनी सुंदर वाणी में इसको समझाते हैं। और आज हम लोगों ने थोड़ा सा ये चेंज किया है, ये एक टीवी स्क्रीन यहाँ पर रखा है। तो कार्यक्रम पूरा होने के बाद थोड़ा सा अपना फीडबैक जरूर दे दीजिएगा कि ये आपको ठीक लगा in terms of the audio and video quality. या तो we go back to our old big large screen that we put up over here. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
It's always a delightful occasion for me to share stories of Baba's love with Baba lovers. Because these stories, each in its own way, reveal the divine aspects, the divine attributes of Baba's love, omnipresence, omniscience, compassion, and so many other attributes. So these we call, as Elizabeth Patterson used to call them, we have not to make much about these things. These are the little happenings in our life. But yet, these are His gifts to us. And so, I personally feel that this is the time of sharing these gifts amongst the Baba community, amongst those who love Baba, among those who want to know more of Baba. I came here to Mehrabad on 15th August 1949, and Baba was in the cabin where Tate stays. That was Baba's cabin, and Baba would call people there. So now my turn came. So Baba said, "Are you married?" I said, "No, Baba." Then Baba just looked at me and he said, "Oh, you're not married? Then I am going to call you for a meeting soon, and don't miss that." So I said, "All right, Baba had just asked me this thing, whether you are married, and just he said, I'm going to call you for the meeting. So it's good. So it must be soon, and how happy I would be to be with Baba again for the meeting." He doesn't say just for darshan, he says for the meeting. So it would be nice. I would have a nice time in the company of Baba, which all the time I crave for. And so on 15th I went, and sometimes with Baba, the dates and the time is so quick, which one can't imagine. That I thought maybe Baba, maybe, as I said, I didn't inquire, there were also other people. The talk was already there about the new life. Those who stayed at Mehrabad, they knew about the new life phase. But no one talked a word to me about the new life, or those who were there never cared to know what was going to happen next. And so Baba simply told me that I am going to call you, and then don't miss that opportunity. So I said, all right, and I left. By the time I reached, maybe 4 or 5, maybe a week at the most, and then I received a letter from Baba, which was of course written by Adi under Baba's instruction. And that's the only letter which I have received Baba, a registered letter with acknowledgement due. Means it's a registered letter that you have received it, and you have to sign that you have received this letter. So I said, letter from whom? From Baba, a registered letter? What that could be? And when I opened it, and I will just tell you the contents of those letters. As far as I remember, the contents of the letters were, Baba orders you to be at Mehrabad on September 4th morning at 8 o'clock for 1 day without fail. You alone should come, and if you don't come, you will never come. So when I read this letter, and there was no love from Baba, Baba sends his love, or nothing was there. I said, what sort of a letter is this? Baba said, I will call you, but he is calling me in this way. It's a sort of a ultimatum, or what is it? That if you come, if you don't come, you never come? So what's this? So when I read that letter, I couldn't understand what it meant. But still I was happy that Baba said that he would call me, and he has called me. So, of course, I was getting ready to go there. And then just out of somewhere, this was on 22nd August. That's what I'm telling you with Baba. Sometimes the quickening of the time, the quickening of the events in time. So I had some work at Pune. So I left my place for Pune. I finished my work. I was getting to the station in a city bus, and just in that same city bus, another of Baba's dear disciples called Gadekar, he also got in at one stop. We looked at each other, we were very happy. He came and sat beside me, and he had a very childlike nature, very loving, full of love for Baba. As I later knew that Baba used to call him Bhakta Shiromani, means the, beads that you have, so at the end there is a top bead in the rosary. So that's like that, so Baba used to call him Bhakta Shiromani. He was full of love for Baba. So he looked at me and he said, you must have received a letter, you must have received a letter. I said, yes, I have received a letter. And then he said, oh, you must be joining Baba in New Life. I said, what is New Life? He said, no, you are going to join Baba in the New Life. And I said, but what is New Life? Tell me. But either he didn't know the full contents of what New Life was, or as the instruction was there, nobody should talk with others about New Life, he didn't want me to tell about New Life. And just at the next stop, he got down and my city bus went straight to the Pune station, and I returned to my place. But that word New Life was all the time in my mind. What is this New Life? What is he saying? You will go in for New Life. What does this phrase mean at all? Because I had not heard even the phrase Old Life. Just being with Baba, coming, Sahwas and Darshan and all that. So what is this New Life? I felt. So at last, anyway, I thought maybe whatever it is. So I thought maybe when I go to Mehrabad, the first thing I will ask those who are there is, what is New Life? And then there was no time, even Baba had first asked me in the letter to be at Mehrabad on 4th September, but that date was changed and we were asked to be there on 31st August, 4 days early. So there was no time for me to think more about New Life. I say, whatever it is, to be with Baba, that's what really counts. And so, on maybe, I think the meeting was in the morning, so I reached there on 30th evening by this 4 o'clock train. So I reached there. Baba was already there in that hall, where you see the chair. So that was not the chair, but that was the place where during Sahwas and especially during the New Life meetings, I saw Baba sitting there occupying that place. The chair was different. So I went there. Already some people from other towns also had come. I didn't know that Baba had prepared a special list of about 35 people, and they were only called on that day. I knew nothing of it. I only knew that Baba wanted me to come, and he says, if you don't come, you will never come. So I said, no, I must go there in time. So I reached there, and from a distance I offered my regards to Baba. Baba looked at me and he said, sit down and all that. And I thought, what is going on in these things? Some things were discussed. I saw all the familiar faces there. But I felt that something serious is being discussed. Serious topics are being discussed. But I couldn't follow what they were. But all the time that word new life was with me. And I said, but what about new life? What is that new life? So maybe that when these people leave and Baba leaves Mehrabad for Mehrazad, I will ask, because Dr. Ghani, I used to talk much with Dr. Ghani, I will ask him, what is this new life? So Baba, after all the little talk and after the instructions that he had to give, the instructions were that we were to get ready at 8 o'clock. The next morning, Padri was asked to clean that entire hall with water at night, and nobody was to enter the hall before Baba gets into it, and every one of us had to have a bath and perhaps wash clothes and wait for Baba. And then the meeting would start. So these instructions were, these I could follow, but what about new life? So I said, well, as soon as Baba left, I will catch hold of Ghani and ask him. So Baba was sitting there, and as he got up and as he would straighten up his coat and sadra very gracefully and all that, look here and look there and have a bow like this, and then briskly walk through the door to his car. But when he stood up for a moment, and then he said, one more last instruction. Now, from the time I left, you can talk on any subject under the sun except the new life. So I said, oh, that was the thing that I wanted to know, and this is Baba's instruction. We are not to say, ask anything, not to talk anything about it. So what is this? It started a very deep mystery for me, because I didn't know what was happening from 1st August. I didn't know, although I was there on 15th August and Baba said whether you are married, and I said, no, I am going to call you. And then my friend Gadekar said that, oh, you are going to join New Life. He was also there. So I said, I will ask him now that he is here, what's New Life? But Baba's last instruction put a seal on all these things. So now what to do? So of course, I can't ask anyone what that new life is. I said, all right, anyway, tomorrow morning Baba will come, and others, along with others, I will also know what that new life is. And so, that night, I talked with Ghani as usual. He told me many other stories, but we can't even utter the word new life. Next morning, we all got up, had our bath. Baba had already come, and he started joking with people. The meeting had not yet started. Although later on I will tell you that it was the most serious meeting that I had ever seen Baba conducting, was that meeting of 31st. But when Baba came, he was quite in a happy mood. He called who had come and all that, and he joked with some of his dear ones, as I said, Gadekar, who had a childlike nature. And if he sees any person wearing off-color robe or had long hair and beard, he would treat him as a saint and offer him respects. And there was another person named Babadas who had long hair, and he would also visit different places, and he would be taken as a saint. So Baba, by way of a joke, said, Babadas has more devotees than I have, and Gadekar has more gurus than the devotees that Babadas had. So there was a little chat like this, and it went on, and the whole veranda was cleaned, and when all these things were going on, all were looking also at their watches. And then suddenly we see the car passing right from Mehrabad to Ahmednagar. And in that was one of the invitees named Apsari, and he just waved a kerchief, and Baba said he had to be before 8. Otherwise, he would not be allowed to be in the hall. So a special car was sent with an instruction that he should be brought down as fast as possible from Ahmednagar, taken straight to the bathroom where he can have a bath, and then before 8, if he comes here, then he will be able to attend the meeting. And all this was done, and with Baba's grace, the car came and it was rightly taken where he can have a bath, and he changed his clothes and he was there, and then we all slowly got into the hall. Baba first went inside, and the moment Baba got in, there was a real change in Baba's expression. Baba, who was joking right outside, and now he's here, and now he's looking so solemn and serious, and differently I felt, even all those who were there, because they knew about the new life and the conditions of the new life, the main mandali, I mean. Baba slowly brought out the subject of new life. And at the start of the meeting, there were 4 priests, so to say, of Baba. Kekobad, then Khak Sahib, who read Quran, and somebody read Bible, and someone read, Kale Mama read Gita. So those books were kept by Baba's side. So first, these holy books were read, and then to have an idea of what that new life is, some points were read out. In fact, it was Dr. Donkin who explained all these things in English, and later on it was Ramju who explained these things in Hindi for those, Baidul and others, who may not be able to understand what was read in English. So to give you the idea, the profundity of the new life, I would like to read some part of the points that were read out at the meeting. The main refrain of these points was, you and you alone are responsible before God. Baba wanted to make it quite clear that this decision should be of everyone as an individual. So the first point was, in this new life of complete renunciation, you will be utterly at the mercy of all kinds of good or bad treatment that may be meted out to you by others. Whatever happens, you and you alone will be held responsible before God. If by accompanying Baba, your dependents or your business or private affairs suffer in any way, you and you alone will be held responsible before God. If due to physical or mental exhaustion, exposure to extreme weather, lack of food, etc., etc., you fall ill or die, you and you alone will be held responsible before God. If Baba should give you any order that may result in your being sent to prison or in your being assaulted or even killed, you and you alone will be held responsible before God. If you should disobey Baba and he should send you away from him, you will not hold Baba responsible before God for your future, whatever that future may bring. The decision that you give to Baba will be considered by him as irrevocable, and he will not accept any change of decision from anyone. If, as a result of your having been sent away by Baba, you should take any misguided step, you and you alone will be held responsible before God. So the main thing that Baba wanted all to understand, that whatever decision we would have, that person will be responsible before God because Baba said, don't expect any spiritual or material benefit for me, but you will be responsible before God. And so when these points were read out, then Baba said, I will take an oath. But before taking an oath, Baba also made it one point clear, wherein, which was mentioned in the circular, it must be clearly understood that although every condition and standing order listed in the communication is absolutely binding on all who decide to accompany Baba, Baba himself is not only not bound by any order or condition, but he is also absolutely free for all time to give any order to anyone, and that such orders might change or even nullify any or all the standing orders and conditions. So it was to accept totally whatever Baba says, that's true. Baba is absolute God, that has to be accepted, and then only one could try to opt for the new life. And then a part of the oath that Baba had taken, which was a very, very solemn occasion. Baba stood near his chair facing his own picture, which you still see in Mehrabad Hall. That picture was there, and then a part of the oath that Baba has taken was this. Before this infinite God, who ever was, ever is, and ever will be, Baba decides today on the new life that he and those who accompany him will enter from October 16, 1949 and lead on till the end. This new life will be based absolutely on all that has been dictated by Baba in the circular of conditions, and Baba invokes God to make him stand by it as firmly and steadfastly as his companions in the new life are required to be. So it's really hard to picture the solemnity, profundity, and the seriousness of the meeting that was held on 31st August in Mehrabad Hall. At least, as far as I remember, I have not seen any other meeting so serious as that. And when that was done, Baba was there, and all those who were present, they were handed over the circulars in which the conditions that are read out and the other information that was there, each one would go to Baba, and those conditions were given to him. And then Baba said, then Baba gave a little break for tea, and then he said, you think over it, read it, and you alone would be responsible before God for all these things. And then when you read it, don't ask me any questions. No explanations are needed. No compromise with any word. No confirmation for anything. If there is any problem, it is for you to solve, but what I expect of you is just to write one word. Under all these, I think there were about 3 or 4 pages, and we have just to write yes and sign, or no and sign. And Baba said, don't keep it blank. Whether you say yes or no, still you will retain your connection with me. But if you don't write anything, your connection with me will be snapped. And for this meeting, there were also some people who didn't receive the circulars, which were known as arrangement walas. Sarosh, Nariman, Meherji, Ramju, and later on Jal Kerawala were known as the arrangement walas. So we received the circular, I went out, I started reading the circular, and in the end, I decided that it is better to write yes, because this is the greatest opportunity that Baba had given me. And suppose in the condition it was there, we have to walk, physical labor was there, and I was so weak that I was sure that I will just be with Baba for some days and I will die, and that would be the best thing to die in that manner, following Baba. In fact, I didn't care for other things because I knew that it was hard for me to stand for the other conditions that were mentioned there. And so I went out, and Baba, as if in his own way, to give you some time for thinking and all that, so we were having our tea, and another, my same dear friend Gadekar, comes to me and he said, "Oh, you are surely going to write yes." I said, "How do you know that?" And just then, how Baba helps, just then there was another person standing by him and he said, "Yes, he is going to write yes." I said, "How do you know that?" He said, "Some days back I had been to Meherazad, and in a very informal talk, Baba said, Bal Natu is not married, so perhaps he may join me in my new life. He may say yes." So I just put two and two together, and also in the morning when I was walking by Mehrabad, the Mast Muhammad was there. He just looked at me and he said, "Allah Mia dua karega," means God will bless you. So somehow, hearing all these things, and for me, this decision was not out of calculation. What are the pros and cons and what will happen? It was a spontaneous thing from me. Sometimes ignorance helps you to take the decision. You don't worry about it at all. You are not to care for it at all. So somehow I 100% felt that this is the moment when I should say yes. So I said yes, signed, went inside the hall. Baba was sitting in that same chair. That's why whenever I go to Mehrabad, I take a chance to go and just pay my respect to that particular place, although the chair is changed. And then Baba never came. Baba said, "Put it there, put it there." And we had our tea, and when we came back, then Baba said, "All right, sit in 3 different groups." One was the group of arrangement walas, the other was the group of yes walas, and the third was the group of no walas. The first thing that Baba said to those who had said no, he said, "Well, it doesn't matter whether you said yes or no. My love for you will remain the same." And then looking at the yaswalas, who were not of the resident mandali, who had come from other towns, and I was one of them, and he just looked at us and he said, "All right, now that you have said yes, it's good, and that you have to come here on 1st October, after a period of 1 month." And then he said, "Remember, you have not to bring anything with you. It's a new life. You have not even to bring, as far as I remember," he said, "you have not to bring the other spare clothes." And then he stopped for a while and he said, "All right, at the most, you may bring one kambal, coarse rug, that you may have on your shoulder like that. No money with you. No money, no spare clothes, only a kambal, and be here on the 1st of October." And once it is such a thing that when Baba helps you to decide something totally, it's not 99.99%, but when it is really total, then the mind is free. There is no such thing that what would happen this way or that way. And so it was in that very happy mood Baba concluded that meeting, and then I left for Kuduvadi. That day was one of the most eventful days in my life, because it was that day, although in my ignorance, whatever I owned, whatever little I owned, and whatever I owed to so many, I just offered it to Baba. And Baba, in his compassion, accepted it and said, "All right, come here on 1st October 1949. And I left for the train with such a light-hearted feeling, because Baba said that when you come, you have to turn your back to the world for good, never going back to the world, to the family, to your friends. Take all those thoughts away from your mind And I just felt, what a nice opportunity that Baba has given me. So it was a very carefree attitude that I inherited at that moment and left for the station and reached my place. Now, of course, I had decided that I have to go with Baba in the new life. I have said yes, and it was unconditional. So I had to prepare myself in a practical way also. So the first thing that I had to do was to submit my resignation to the headmaster, because it needed 1 month's notice before they relieve you legally. And Baba would not like if at all some correspondence happened to reach him that way. So when I went to the headmaster, who was a bit new to me and also to the school, wondered as to why I should tender my resignation without mentioning any specific reason. I didn't tell him about Baba in the beginning, but because just a month prior to that, that is July, the entire of July, according to Baba's instructions, I had observed silence. And so he felt, what sort of a person is he? Seems to have a mystical attitude. But one thing, I never brought my relationship with Baba in the work that I was supposed to do in the school. I would always pay best of my attention to the students, to the class, and whatever work I was supposed to do. So he was in a fix what to say. He said, why do you want to leave? I said, no, it's enough. I have to leave, and I will be leaving this job on 1st of October. And then he said, all right, we will see, we will let you know. Please reconsider. I said, no, there is no thought of reconsidering about this resignation. Then the next thing was, we have to attend to the affairs of the house, family, land, house, shares in the company which were in my name, and all these things have to be done within that period, because Baba said, when you come to me, you are not allowed to receive any correspondence from your family members. You are not even supposed to sign anything. Once you come, you totally come here. And then Baba has said that if you are not married, you are supposed to tell about your coming to me only to one person, who would tell the rest of the family and neighbors only after 16th of October. So one day I took my brother in confidence and told him, see, now this is what I am going to do, and you will have to see to all the family affairs, and whatever we do during this month is the time given by Baba, and the rest we leave to Baba's sweet will, God's sweet will. And to my great fortune, my brother very lovingly agreed, because we were a joint family, to all the responsibilities, and that was really a great relief for me. And in those days, I remembered the lines of a poem written by Vivekananda. I think the title is Song of Sannyasi. And in the olden days, I was told that Baba used to refer to these particular lines. And that's why they started coming to me. And as far as I remember, they are, they know no truth, who dream such vacant dreams as father, mother, children, wife and friend. Sexless self, whose father, whose child, leave all that sannyas in bold and say, Om Tat Sat Om. And so I felt, now this is the time when I have to leave all to follow one. And then as I would move in the town, in the class, there was a different look. So to say, I would be seeing, oh, I won't see this person again in my lifetime, because after 16th October, the whole connection is being snapped. I will go by the roads, and I became so aware of the things around me. There was interest in it, and also I was disinterested in that also. Oh, just for the last time I will be seeing this place, and just a month to go. And what have I to do? I have just to have my clothes on my body, a coarse blanket on my shoulder, and go to Baba and be with him. But after a few days, when you are with Baba, you have to be ready for changes. And so after some days, I received a letter from Baba in which was enclosed a long list of things that we are supposed to bring with us. As far as I remember, the first thing was 2 kafnis, means gowns or what, I don't know what you call, as the sadhus wear, kafni we call it, and one had to be of white color and the other blue. And the second item was again a kafni, woolen kafni with brown color. And there were so many other things. You have to have those who are used to toothpaste and toothbrush, they should bring that. And I never used a toothbrush or anything, just the ash from the hearth we will just apply to our teeth, and we should bring the tooth powder, and other things were there. Even the size of the box was mentioned in that. What size the box should be in which you keep all these things. But in those days, whatever instructions, in fact only this was the instruction, but whatever would come from Baba, I think that, oh, he will see to it and that will be done. And so when I received this letter, I started purchasing different things mentioned in the letter, also shoes which I had not worn for years. And then when I went to the tailor and asked him just to take a measurement for the kafni or the gown, and he started looking at me, what has happened to this teacher, you see? He knew me as a school teacher, and when he said one is blue, and when he heard that one was a woolen kafni, it was too much for him. He was looking at me and taking my measurement. He says, what have you in mind and why you want this? And I said, no, just, I want this, that's all. Because I couldn't speak out, because that was Baba's instruction. We have only to one person in the family, and if need be, then only to the boss or to the headmaster or whosoever he may be, that I can just mention something that I'm going like this. So it was all the things like that, these things were going on, and somehow the headmaster also sanctioned my resignation. I said, now everything is done, the brother has agreed, now I have to worry about nothing, and I was just counting days to go to Baba. But at the end of the list, it was mentioned that instead of 1st October, you come to Mehrabad on 5th October. So at that time when I read it, for a minute I felt, so what will I do here for 4 days? And then people would know that I have left my job, and they would come and ask me and all these things, just for a minute that was there. And I said, all right. I started purchasing things as I told you. And now to keep all these things in a trunk of a certain measure. So I told my brother, go and get me a trunk of tin. He went to the town, some other town nearby, 20 miles away, and brought a nice trunk. But when I measured it, I found that it was longer than the measurement expected. So I said, no, go back. And I was sure that there will be a trunk of that size when it is mentioned in the circular. And these are the little things that really to me are Baba's discourses in his own language. How things that are impossible, seemingly impossible, come out in a natural way and you get it. And when my brother came and he brought the tongue, and it was exactly of the size that was mentioned in the letter. So I said, now most of the things have been done, but one more thing was, then I think I received a letter. After that, when everything was complete, I said, now everything is complete. Life with Baba is just like this. When you feel self-complacent, he just shakes you from that self-complacency and he says, no, you have to go ahead. It's not just that. And just then I received a letter that before we go to Baba, we must have a sort of an identity card with us. Perhaps when we go to colleges and all that, here we have the identity cards in which your picture would be there, your name would be there, and here it has to be signed. It was mentioned in the letter that it has to be signed by the government officer, your picture. And then I learned that it was because that when you follow Baba, one of the condition was, if you fall ill, well, you will have to take care of yourself, and nobody is supposed to look after you or wait for you. We will go our way, and you are responsible before God, whatever happens to you. And then I was told that suppose in such a case you die, we are somewhere in India, so how would they know who you are? So we have to keep that identity card with us. So this was the identity card that I had to have before I came to Baba, and this was supposed to be with us when we would walk with Baba on the road, and suppose something happens to us, so that somebody sometime would know that this is such a person from such and such a place. See Baba's humor in these little things, his practicality, his humor, and also the profundity of it. So now all these things were slowly and slowly getting clear. The home atmosphere, the school atmosphere, the colleagues didn't know, but some assistant of the headmaster, he knew a little of it, that I would be leaving because they had to make an arrangement to take someone on the staff. And so now, when it was 1st October, I really felt now what's going to happen? But right from my youth, I am not a social person. You see, a sort of, I would just be in my room, not visiting neighbors, not the friends would visit me. And so, although I felt that some of my colleagues may come, but somehow it so happened, no one came to my house to inquire why all of a sudden I have given up my job and where I am going and what I am doing. So now, after all, 4 days passed. On the 4th night, I think, I left my place to be with Baba on 5th. Baba used to stay at Mehrajad, and he used to come there every morning. I didn't know much about it. The day I left, I just had Baba with me and never cared to know what's happening at Mehrabad. Later I learned that for many days there were different meetings, and what some duties given to different people and what happened to other people. Some who said yes, what happened to them. I was not in the know of these things. But when I came, Baba's condition was, you have to be moneyless. You shouldn't have anything with you in the form of money. So I had with me double the amount that I was supposed to pay to the driver of the horse cab, Tonga as we call it. And so my brother purchased a ticket for me, and I just looked at him, and there were tears in his eyes. But for me, I felt I am going to Baba. And I got down at Ahmednagar station, and from the station, I knew the fare. I just asked him, and I knew that I have much more than that. And so when we reached Mehrabad, I just gave him all the money that I had, so that the condition was, when you step in the premises of Mehrabad, you have to be penniless. So that condition was fulfilled. Baba was right in the hall. In the hall, I mean the hall at present where Muhammad stays, that big hall. And that chair that you find, that was the seat of Baba, where I handed over to him the circular or whatever was given to me, signed yes, and then just given to Baba. So Baba was still there. Not still there means every day he would come, he would occupy that place, and meetings were going on. So when I went, I found as if it is just the way that I left and I came back, Baba is still there, as though. And things were being discussed, and I could follow some, I couldn't follow some, but I just wondered why right in that meeting, one of the things that Baba stated in the new life, if I happen to drop my body anywhere, it should definitely be brought to Mehrabad and kept in the dome, or kept in the dome as you used to call it. And the same, he said, should be done about Mehra, that her body should also be by the side of my tomb. So I said, Baba is talking about the new life, and generally he would say, if you want to die for nothing, you join the new life. And here he is actually mentioning that, about death. It's about his own death and Mehra's death, and things are going on like this. But because, as I said, and I would later on say, as long as your response is total, whatever happens around you, God takes care of it. So it went on like this. And the next day, it was a very simple meal. All those who were known as Yaswalas, they had already arrived there. We had just a simple tea in the morning, and for lunch, one vegetable and chapati, and at night, rice and dal. Very simple meal. In the hall we slept. It was really a very simple and contented days that I may say, although they were very few for me. So the next morning Baba came, and Baba was very happy, and he said, all right, Khat, one of the members who was staying in Mehrabad, he was a poet, and he would compose ghazals like Dr. Ghani. So Baba asked him to read one of his ghazals. That ghazal was a sort of a dialogue between the beloved and the lover. The beloved says to the lover, because of the heartache, what sort of scars you have on your heart? And the lover says in reply, thank you, O beloved. For me, the brilliance of these scars is brighter than the heavenly bodies. And Baba really liked this simile, and he made his sign of perfection to Khat. So this was on the 6th morning. And then later on, I am not sure whether it was the midday, before lunch or after lunch, we went outside at the back of Rahuri cabin, means back side of Mehrabad Hall, and Baba said, let's play some game. And that game Baba has named as French tennis. It means we use the tennis racket and the tennis ball, and the one who is playing, he had to have his racket just near his toes, and then someone would throw the ball and you have to hit it. And if the ball hits you below the waist, you are out. If you hit the ball and you are caught, you are out. But if it's hard, then you continue the play. So like this, the play was going on. Baba also joined us. All those who had said yes, they were also there. So we are having a very nice time. And after some time, maybe 15-20 minutes, so the play was over, and we were all returning back to Mehrabad Hall. And when I was just getting into the hall, I just find somebody patting on my shoulder like this. I looked, and to my amazement, I found that it was Baba himself. He looked at me and he said, you played very well today. So of course, it was for the first time that I was playing that game, and with him. But when he said, I said, yes, Baba. And then he made a sign. See how Baba in a natural way brings out things. He said, do you play cricket? So I said, Baba, I used to play cricket. So there was a look of surprise on Baba's face. Then you don't play cricket now? I said, no, Baba, I don't play cricket these days. He said, since when? I said, I only played during my school days, and then when I was in college, I had a heavy hemorrhage and I started vomiting blood, and then I was a patient of tuberculosis of the 3rd stage, and since then, what of playing cricket? I cannot even lift heavy things like this. Then Baba showed a concern over this matter and said, but then how will you walk with me for 10-15 miles? Will you be able to walk 10 to 15 miles a day? So how in a natural way Baba got in there, and I said, Baba, I will try my best. And then Baba looked at me and he said, all right, come to Meherazad on 8th of October and I will tell you something. And then when Baba left, Dr. Ghani, who was interpreting the board, was there, and he said, Bal, you are lucky. Because I don't know, Baba was so stern with those who had said yes. And no compromise, no explanation. But he said, he is going to tell you something. You and Minu Kharas are lucky. So I personally didn't know what's happened to Minu Kharas. Anyway, I said, of course, I will go to Meherazad because of Baba's order on 8th. So now naturally, I came to Meherazad. At that time, there was no Mandali hall as you find like this. And so naturally, we were just waiting outside, and there were trees just in front of the Mandali hall and in front of the blue bus and other things. And Baba was in room number 5, as it is numbered now. That was Kakabaria's room. Baba was there. And when I came here, he said, all right, whatever duty I give to you, do it wholeheartedly. And so many poor people were called here, men and women. And I was given the duty to just ask them to sit in line, then take them to Baba, guide them to Baba. And Baba was there. He was washing the feet of all these people and giving them some food grain, I don't remember what, and then they were taken out. So when Baba was doing like this, for some time, he even called me to the room, and I just looked at him and wondered at his humility, at his compassion. And so, when this was done, all people had left. Then he again called me in to his room, and there were 2 doctors, Dr. Donkin and Dr. Nilu. And then he must have told them something about me, what had happened after the play of French tennis. And he said, go and examine him whether his stamina or he is physically fit to join me in the new life. He didn't say anything to me. He just told them these things. So now, sometimes I remember, just in front of one of these rooms, all people have gone. Some 10-8 of the resident Mandali were here. So I was made to stand there. Dr. Nilu comes to me, and the only thing I remember he did was just to remove my collar of the shirt and look at my collarbones and perhaps one of the ribs this side or that side. Dr. Donkin was just standing there, just watching what he was doing. They exchanged looks, and I think it was quite clear for them what state of affair with my body was. Now they go back to Baba. They must have told something to Baba about my physical condition. I didn't know what they said, but Baba said, now you do one thing. You come tomorrow at Adi's place at about 9 o'clock, and he had also made an arrangement for his conveyance. So I was just like in the Wonderland or Baba land like that. I said, whatever he says, I have to do. I had no thought that what's going to happen. And so I went back, and the next day, 9th October, at about 9 o'clock, I came to Adi's office, where at present is the registration office. And by the side of the registration office, there is a small room, which was Adi's personal room, and Baba was sitting there. So when I went there, he called me inside. And then he looked at me and he said, I am pleased with you and with your love for me. So I just wonder what he is saying. What sort of love is this? As for me, he was like a big magnet, and whatever I did was like the iron filings. I didn't know what it was, but somehow I felt very drawn to him in a most natural way. And then he again looked at me, and the one person who was in the same room was one of Baba's Mandli named Ramju. Ramju was the person who would do legal things for Baba. And he was also given a great responsibility, because he was one of the arrangement walas, to do with the lands and the people who were there and all the legal things. He would see to this. So he was there, and so then Baba just asked him to take the stack of the forms of all the yeswalas, all those who have signed yes. And then he said, take out Bal's, whatever that circular is on which I had signed. So he takes it out, and then as far as I remember, Baba dictated from his board to Ramju to write on that very paper, Bal will be with me in new life, and I am not sure whether forever, till the end, or what word Baba used. And then Ramju wrote that thing on that circular which I had signed, and then as an official document, then he takes it to Baba. Baba takes it in his hand, he signs it, and then he gives it back to Ramju. Then again he looks at me and he says, without any fault of yours, I relieve you from new life. You have not to be with me physically. You have not to join me physically in my new life, but you will be with me. And now you can go. Whole thing was so unexpected that I simply looked at Baba and was saying, yes, 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 like this. And I didn't know the new life hasn't yet started. It was to start on 16th, and this is 9th October. So then Baba again looked at me, and then he said, a sort of an order as I take it. Baba said, but remember one thing. When Baba called me, he had mentioned the question that he had asked me, are you married? And I said, no. And he said, I will call you for a meeting, and don't miss it. And now the same thing comes again. He looks at me and he said, don't marry. And also he said, this is the sign for the woman. And so he said, no lustful touch to any woman, any girl. So I took it as an order from Baba. And as I look back, I find that what a great blessing it was from Baba. Because as I find around, it's one of the things, it's one of the elements that sometimes rules our lives and even ruins our lives. And here Baba on his own has given me the instruction, and so I was sure that he was sure to help me, he was sure to guide me, that I obey his order. And as I was reading his discourses in those days, a particular part of the discourse that comes to my mind which I would like to share at this moment. It is the need for male and female incarnations. This is one from the series of Baba's discourses on reincarnation. Baba says, the psyche of the soul retains the gathered experience of male and female incarnations. Since the soul identifies itself with the body, the psychological tendencies which harmonize with the sex of the body find a suitable medium for expression. The psychological tendencies which are characteristic of the opposite sex are ordinarily suppressed into the unconscious part of the psyche because they do not harmonize with the sex of the body and find the medium of expression obtrusive. Thus, sex is a manifestation of the ignorant attempt which the conscious mind makes to compensate for the psychic fragmentation entailed by identification with the sex of the body. This attempt to compensate for fragmentation is doomed to be futile because it is based upon identification with the body. The problem of sex duality is a part of the problem of duality as such. Its complete solution comes when the wider problem of all duality is solved through divine love, in which there is neither I nor you, neither man nor woman. So when Baba gave me this order, I felt that this duality that really persists in the life of man. So Baba is going to help me, going to that deeper aspect which is in me, which may trouble me sometime, but Baba is there to help me.
ये फिल्म जो हमने अभी देखी थी, बाबा ने बालाजी को जो ऑर्डर दिए उसका कितना गहरा अर्थ है कि एक जो हमारे विभिन्न किस्म के संस्कार होते हैं, मगर एक जो ये संस्कार है जो बाबा ने स्वयं कहा है कि उस संस्कार को मिटाने की मिटाने के लिए उन्हें भी बहुत मशक्कत करनी पड़ती है, वो काम वासना या लस्ट के जो संस्कार है। और डायरेक्टली बालाजी को ये आश्वासन देकर कि उसको मिटाने की वो उनको मदद करेंगे, बालाजी को उन्होंने नई जिंदगी के पथ के ऊपर हमेशा जीने के लिए की प्रेरणा दी। और बाबा ने ये जो संदेश जो दिया है, सॉरी, न्यू लाइफ का जो बाबा ने संदेश दिया है वो मैं दोबारा से पढ़ता हूं क्योंकि ये इम्पोर्टेंट है। This new life is endless, and even after my physical death, will be kept alive by those who live the life of complete renunciation of falsehood, lies, hatred, anger, greed, and lust. And who, to accomplish all this, do no lustful actions, do no harm to anyone, do no backbiting, do not seek material possessions or power, who accept no homage, neither covet honor nor shun disgrace, and fear no one and nothing. By those who rely solely and solely on God, and who love God purely for the sake of loving, who believe in the lovers of God and in the reality of manifestation, and yet do not expect any spiritual or material reward, who do not let go the hand of truth, and who, without being upset by calamities, bravely and wholeheartedly face all hardships with 100% cheerfulness, and give no importance to caste, creed, and religious ceremonies. This new life will live by itself eternally, even if there is no one to live it. और बालाजी को ये आश्वासन देकर कि वो उनकी पूरी मदद करेंगे, बाबा ने उनको नई जिंदगी के ऊपर, हालांकि वो बाबा के साथ गए नहीं, मगर उनकी नई जिंदगी उसी समय से शुरू हो गई। अवतार मेहर बाबा ने नई जिंदगी खुद जी है, एक साधक की तरह, एज ए सीकर, एक कंपेनियन की तरह। और जो जिंदगी उन्होंने जी, वो 3 साल, जो 4 साल, जो 3 साल निकाले, वो हमारे लिए एक उदाहरण बन जाता है। What sort of a life to live? What is the new life? It is an example. It is a very strong example. और आप डॉक्टर दौलत सिंह की बात देख लीजिए, बालनाटू की बात देख लीजिए, या तो बाबा के साथ जो नई जिंदगी में जो लोग गए थे, डॉक्टर गनी वगैरह, उन सबको बाबा ने नई जिंदगी के उस पथ के ऊपर लगा दिया। अवतार मेहर बाबा से हम यही कृपा करते हैं कि हमको भी, हम सबको भी उनकी नई जिंदगी के ऊपर चलने की, एक नई जिंदगी जीने की वो प्रेरणा हमें हमेशा देते रहे। उनकी कृपा हमारे ऊपर बरसती रहे। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। सब मिल बोलो, प्रेम से बोलो, बोलो मेहर प्रभु नाम 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 नाम, बोलो मेहर प्रभु नाम 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 नाम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम 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 काम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम। बोलो सब मिल बोलो, प्रेम से बोलो, बोलो मेहर प्रभु नाम 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 नाम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम 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 काम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम। कितना सुंदर रूप मेहर का, कितना सुंदर रूप मेहर का, सबसे मीठा नाम मेहर का, सबसे मीठा नाम मेहर का। मेहर ही फिर मेहर करेगा, मेहर ही फिर मेहर करेगा। देखे देखो तो जरा नाम 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 नाम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम 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 काम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम। बोलो सब मिल बोलो, प्रेम से बोलो, बोलो मेहर प्रभु नाम 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 नाम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम 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 काम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम। यूं तो वाणी क्या क्या कहती,
यूं तो वाणी क्या क्या कहती,
किसको भाती किसको न भाती,
किसको भाती किसको न भाती।
सुख में दुख में हर साथी,
सुख में दुख में हर साथी।
काहे न में हर दामन थाम 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 थाम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम 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 काम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम। बोलो सब मिल बोलो, प्रेम से बोलो, बोलो मेहर प्रभु नाम 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 नाम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम 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 काम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम। मैं हर प्रेम का ज्ञान का सागर, मैं हर प्रेम का
ज्ञान का सागर,
अनुभव कर ले तू भी निरंतर,
अनुभव कर ले तू भी निरंतर।
जो तू पल पल खोजे अंतर,
जो तू पल पल खोजे अंतर।
मेहर जपेगा सुबह शाम 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 शाम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम 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 काम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम। बोलो सब मिल बोलो, प्रेम से बोलो, बोलो मेहर प्रभु नाम 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 नाम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम 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 काम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम। नहीं जानू क्या भाग मैं पाया,
नहीं जानू क्या भाग मैं पाया,
जिसने मुझको पी से मिलाया,
जिसने मुझको पी से मिलाया।
मधुसूदन ने सब कुछ पाया,
मधुसूदन ने सब कुछ पाया।
अब तो बसा हूँ मैं हर धाम 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 धाम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम 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 काम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम। बोलो सब मिल बोलो, प्रेम से बोलो, बोलो मेहर प्रभु नाम 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 नाम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम 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 काम, बिगड़े बनेंगे सारे काम। बोलो भाई
मैं हर
बोलो भाई
मैं हर
सब मिल बोलो
मैं हर
सब मिल बोलो
मैं हर
सारे बोलो
मैं हर
सारे बोलो
मैं हर
जोर से बोलो प्रेम से बोलो हर घर में हो मैं हर बोलो
बोलो
मैं हर में हर में हर में 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 सबका प्यारा
मैं हर
सबका प्यारा
मैं हर
सबसे न्यारा
मैं हर
सबसे न्यारा
मैं हर
है रखवाला दीन दयाला ही उजियाला में हर
बोलो
मैं हर में हर में हर में 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 सुख में बोलो
मैं हर
सुख में बोलो
मैं हर
दुख में बोलो
मैं हर
दुख में बोलो
मैं हर
हर हालत में भूल न जाना हर दम जपना में हर बोलो
मैं
हर में हर में हर में मैं हर में हर में हर में मैं हर में हर में हर में मैं हर में हर में हर में धर्म एक है
मैं हर
एक है
मैं हर
जात जात में
मैं हर
जात जात में
मैं हर
सारे मानव एक प्रभु के मात पिता है मैं हर बोलो मैं हर में हर में हर में 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 मंदिर में है
मैं हर
मंदिर में है
मैं हर
मस्जिद में भी
मैं हर
मस्जिद में भी
मैं हर
गुरुद्वार में गिरजाघर में मधुसूदन एक में हर बोलो मैं हर में हर में हर में 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 मैं हर में हर में हर बोलो अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। आरती। O glorious eternal ancient one, your face is a bright transcendental sun. Lighten this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart may here I give to you to keep. Creator yet creationless you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar. Who through compassion the three worlds maintains. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling spokes of breath of the world's will that bears me on to death. Unless you who are infinitely kind, break the wheels of which is conditioned mind. This incense is my love, these fruits my art.
which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining hour. You are myself, I sing to you in praise, and beg your love to bear me through the days, till you, the ever-living perfect one, illumine my darkness with your shining sun.
बुझावे नार सहलतनी ऐ कर खुद रत्न फरमातू छैलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे मातू हया मुर्शद मेहर बाबा चरण पर तुझ न धरिए सर खुदा ना जात थी वाके फथई बै हो मेहर बारू तुझे मालिक हकीकत नो तू आशिक भी ने यारे भी तुझे दरी या ये वहदत मारे फतनो होई तूफान तू हमोर है रौने ऐसा लेख बख्शे ज्ञान इज्जत नू के तुझ पर महात्मा ज्ञानी छने तारे इरफां तू खुदाना प्रेम नो प्यालो पिलावी मस्त हमने कर छे तुझ पर जान सद के साकिया पी दे पैमा तू हमारी नाव भर दरिए तरावे तो हमें तरिए हमारा ना खुदा ऐ मेहर बाबा छैनी गे बातू हमारा ना खुदा ऐ मेहर बाबा छैनी गे बातू बुझावे नार सहलतनी ऐ कर खुद रत्न फरमातू छैलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूर ईमातू।
हे परवरदिगार, सबके राखनहार और सबकी रक्षा करने वाले, तुम्हारा कोई आदि नहीं है और ना तुम्हारा कोई अंत है। तुम अद्वैत हो, तुम तुलना से परे हो और तुम्हारा पार कोई नहीं पा सकता है। तुम्हारा कोई रंग और कोई रूप नहीं है। तुम आविर्भाव से रहित हो और तुम गुणातीत हो। तुम अपार हो और अगाध हो। कल्पना और धारणा से परे हो, शाश्वत और अनश्वर हो। तुम अखंडनीय हो और दिव्य नेत्रों के सिवाय और किसी भी प्रकार से तुम्हें कोई नहीं देख सकता है। तुम्हारा अस्तित्व सदैव था, तुम सदैव रहते हो और तुम सदैव रहोगे। तुम सर्वत्र हो, तुम हर वस्तु में हो और तुम हर जगह से परे तथा हर वस्तु से परे भी हो। तुम आकाश में हो और पाताल में हो, तुम व्यक्त हो और अव्यक्त हो, तुम सब लोकों पर हो और समस्त लोकों से परे भी हो। तुम तीनों भुवनों में हो और तीनों भुवनों से परे भी हो। तुम अगोचर हो और स्वतंत्र हो। तुम सृष्टि के रचने वाले हो, स्वामियों के स्वामी हो, समस्त मनों और हृदयों के ज्ञाता हो। तुम सर्वशक्तिमान हो और सर्वव्यापी हो। तुम अनंत ज्ञान हो, अनंत शक्ति हो और अनंत आनंद हो। तुम ज्ञान के महासागर हो, सनातन अनंत ज्ञान रखने वाले हो। तुम भूत, वर्तमान और भविष्य के ज्ञाता हो और तुम स्वयं ज्ञान हो। तुम पूर्ण दयामय हो और सदैव परहितकारी हो। तुम आत्माओं की आत्मा हो और अनंत गुणों से संपन्न एक परमात्मा हो। तुम सत्य, ज्ञान और परमानंद की त्रिमूर्ति हो। तुम सत्य के मूल हो, प्रेम के महासागर हो। तुम सनातन सत्ता हो, ऊंचों में सबसे ऊंचे हो। तुम प्रभु और परमेश्वर हो। तुम पर ब्रह्म हो और परात्पर पर ब्रह्म भी हो। तुम पर ब्रह्म परमात्मा हो, अल्लाह हो, इलाही हो, यजदान हो, अहुरमज़द हो और प्रियतम ईश्वर हो। तुम्हारा नाम इज्जत अर्थात एकमात्र पूज्य है। हे असीम दया के निधि प्रभुराज, हम अपने सब पापों के लिए पश्चाताप करते हैं। हर एक विचार के लिए जो असत्य, अनुचित या गंदा था, हर एक बोले हुए शब्द के लिए जिसे बोलना हमें उचित न था, और हर एक कर्म के लिए करना हमें उचित न था। स्वार्थ से प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द और विचार के लिए तथा द्वेष प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द और विचार के लिए पश्चाताप करते हैं। विशेषकर हर एक कामुक विचार तथा क्रिया के लिए, ऐसे हर एक वचन के लिए जिसको हमने पूरा नहीं किया, और सभी निंदा, पाखंड, दंभ या लोगों के पीछे उनके दोष बताने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। और खासकर दूसरों का नाश करने वाले हर एक कर्म के लिए, दूसरों को दुख देने वाले हर एक शब्द तथा कर्म के लिए तथा दूसरों पर दुख गिरने की इच्छा करने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। हे प्रभुराज, आप हम पर असीम दया करके हमारे ये किए हुए पापों पर क्षमा कीजिए, और वैसे ही आपकी मर्जी के अनुसार विचार करने में, बोलने में तथा कार्य करने में जो हमारी असमर्थता सदा रहती आई है, उसको भी क्षमा कीजिए। यही हमारी आपसे प्रार्थना है। आमीन। प्रियतम परमात्मा, हमारी ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम तुझसे अधिक प्रेम करें, और अधिक और अधिक, और फिर भी उससे भी अधिक प्रेम करें, जब तक कि हम तुझ में मिलकर एक हो जाने के पात्र बन जाए। और तू हम सबकी ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम अंत अंत तक प्रियतम बाबा का दामन दृढ़ता से पकड़े रहिए। बोलो मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।